Hey guys, what is up? It is Sarah Tenen here again today with yet another amazing deck profile. Today I'm going to do the deck that I went uh, 8-1 in the New York Team Springfest regional thing. Going to kind of go over the deck and why I played the cards I did and like how good I think it was. It's Kokoro Yukina, so let's get into it. Boom, 4 Futaba level 1s, or level 0s. It becomes a level 1 on board, top checks on play, has nice synergy with your Amagi. Why? Your Amagi can grab either one of your level 1s if you trigger them. So if you go first, slam this down, see the Kokoro specifically for this, you leave that on top, just declare this card dead. Then you swing, trigger, goes to stock, grab it with this, just turn this into a pay 1 plus. Super solid in the late game by it also like increases the amount of cards you brainstorm for basically by removing the character off the top, and can give you triggers that you need to know for lethal in the late game. All in all, I think this is the best card in Bang Dream. You play this as a 4-of, especially because you don't have like Rickies and whatnot. You don't have super good cards outside of walls at 0. Boom, we play 4 of the Amagi. Why do we play 4? It's a good card. You need to see it in opening hand. First deck, it's amazing. It gets you more cards. It's also required for part of... It's also yellow, which is important. And it's required for your level... For your early play level 3. We play 3 Azuses. Why? Because it grabs yellow cards only, so it can't grab any of your endgame pieces. It can't grab like your cards that are going to live at 0. This is entirely hand filter and mill. I only use this if there's like a really bad situation. I kind of don't just randomly use it. Like you would, like if you have a normal like Azusa or Amagi, or Azusa or Akatsuki, then you can just like use it wildly, but this one I don't think you do. Boom! Another big appeal to the yellow deck. This is a Climax Searcher. Clock yourself, ditch one, search a yellow Climax. Only yellow. So... That's nice. It helps you not get level locked too if you're 0-6 because you're playing stock souls and you got Amagis. Sometimes even if you have the stock soul you need in hand already, you just grab a second one because your level 1 combo is really good. It can loop itself. You can just keep slamming stock souls all day. Very nice card. And that's like kind of the unique thing is like you can level lock a lot of Bang Dreams lists at 0-5 and then they can't just like they actually can't function. This one, it's very nice. You basically have like a pseudo Ricky type thing just to level yourself up. We play 2 brainstorms. Why? Because I like getting more hand for free. You get really compressed in the list after first deck and like second deck even. Because we're playing stock souls and we're playing a super efficient combo and we got the marker Chisados. So you don't want to brainstorm on first deck. You got a Magi for that. Because Magi's a better plus on first deck. But on second deck, this is the better. This has the higher return rate. So we play 2. We get it in hand. Hopefully before second deck, and then have access to the brainstorm. Boom, 2 drop searchers. It's nice. It gets you things that you need when you need them, and then it also gains a soul in the middle, which synergizes nice with our combo. If our opponent cancels, we get to salvage an extra soul, an extra chance at a cancel, or it puts your opponent farther behind. Either is good. And then also you can like side attack it if you put it in the middle, and you don't have to lose that lane. This gives a level 1 on play. Plus 1 soul for the turn, and then it's also power pumps a card 2k or 500 for every other music character on the board on attack, which is super nice. It synergizes with our end game, which needs reverses, and our level 1 game sometimes can get walled out. This can sometimes just break walls. I only originally put in the list because I had the SSP. Okay, now we're on the level 1 game. Level 1 game, we play 4 Kokoros. Why? Because it can be. This card's insane. With the stock soul, if your opponent can't, you give 2 cards with the stock soul when you play the stock soul. If your opponent cancels either of those cards attacks, you salvage 1. So usually the way that because it's like easy to loop the stock soul in the build, you play down 2, you hold 2, or like you have them engrave. If your opponent cancels, you grab the other 2 back, right? And then just let these hit grave. Next turn you play these down, play down another stock soul, and that's like the loop that you just keep doing that. First deck, it's a little sacky if your opponent cancels. But if they don't, I mean, like, you're pretty far ahead, right? If they don't cancel. And if they do, then you're pretty far ahead because you get a ton of hand for free and you're able to just start the loop earlier. That's why we have the Amagi and we're able to grab more cards with it. And usually the way that I do it is I attack with whatever 2 cards I put the effect on. I attack with those first because, okay, so if they eat this one, right, I'm usually down to like a 3-card hand or 4-card hand, right? Because I committed 3 characters. Even if I started with a 7-card hand, I clock drew up to 8. Or I clock drew up to 9. If I put down 3 characters in a climax, I'm already down to a 5-card hand, and you usually don't have full hand. You usually go into the turn with like a little bit less than that, or like I'll like put a card in the back row just to like, you know, extend my hand a little bit. Or sorry, not that. You know by the second attack if you trigger one of the cards that you can grab off of this, if you need that card out of your stock or not. So like attack order doesn't really matter on first deck cancels anyway. So that's why I just do these 2 first. It just gives me more knowledge on if I want to use this card's effect to grab the card that I triggered. And then we also play for this because it can be grabbed off of the trigger. It's also a 7k beater if it attacks last. It gets 1500 whenever something attacks in front of it. And it has pay 1 change into this. This is a 1500 to front on your turn. And it has send this card to stock to change into this. And it gets this as a marker when it's played and from grave or hand. What's nice about this is you can use this or this from hand to pay out a climax, because like you're building into a really expensive top end with this deck. You're building into Yukina, which is you need to build quite a bit of resources to have Yukina. Possibly you might need a top checker during that turn. You know, you might need to brainstorm. You need a lot of stock to play around with. And if you're like busy double brainstorming in a game to pay out climaxes and mill your deck, sucks because you're probably not going to have the stock you need. Every stock counts. This engine's a little nice. If you trigger climax in second one, you just put this down, marker this, next turn, send this to stock, get your stock back, swing in with this and just let it die. Super nice little engine, helps with consistency. 1500 to front helps your Yukina because we don't play level supports. We don't have the red in the deck that a lot of Bang Dream lists play to turn off backups and events. So yeah, the 1500 power does help. Playing 2 Swimsuit Lisas. It's just there to kind of turn off bombs and like deal with some garbage. I didn't really play it too much, so you could cut this from the list if you wanted to. It was just there because I didn't know how else to like fill the slots properly. And it just seemed like a nice tech choice for dealing with garbage. If anything, you might play 4 of it because this card's even more worthless than this. I just didn't see this because it wasn't grabbable off of the Azusa or the Amagi. That was like my biggest problem with it. It was like the quantity I was playing it in. This card, even when I saw it half the time, I was just like clocking it because I knew that I wasn't going to get value out of it until like way too late. And then I had like no way to grab it off of brainstorms. The only reason I initially tried the list with 3. I cut it down to 2 because it was doing nothing. But I only put it in the list originally because I wanted to grab it off of my early play and then turn my early play into a 3-1. Yeah, it turns out you don't need the early play too much in this deck. And this card is just like completely worthless. Level 2, we have 1 stock bomb. I just wanted to be able to deal with like random garbage, and it being yellow was nice because it's grabbable off of Azusa and Amagi if I needed it. There was only one game where I kind of really wanted it, and then I didn't have it that one game. Go figure. But yeah, I think you need this just to deal with like a Rem or something that might hit board and get a million markers. So that's the only card we play at level 2. The level 1 lineup and level 0 lineup just take a lot of slots. Level 3, we're playing 4 Yukina. It's just there it's a healer. It gets big. It kills people if they don't play around it, and most people don't. That's kind of nice. Playing 3 Musashi, and we're also playing it for the climax combo, which is pay 1. And most people probably don't know what this is. It's pay 1, rip 3 cards out of your deck, and then if you rip 2 or more, discard 2. So it's a pay 1 plus, but more importantly, if you play down 3 of this and you resolve this all at the end of your attacks, you're probably like ripping all of the damage out of your deck, and you're getting like a free extra turn. And then because you used a lot of your stock, you probably don't even have much stock to get hit with like a stock swap to like ruin the compression. So that's kind of nice. Yeah, I think the climax combo is actually a little bit better than most people give it credit for, especially with the way that we play it, which is only one of the climax. And then 2 of the early play. It's a top check X. It helps you find the pants for the Yukina. It helps you find just like random stuff. And at early plays, the idea was, you early play, grab a toilet, and becomes a 3-1. It gets 500 for every other on your turn, so it's a 10-5, 11-5 before any back row climaxes or supports. Just, it can like beat over some early plays, which is kind of nice. The top check X is super cool. But the early play condition, I forgot to go over that. It only early plays if you have the Amagi, which is another reason we play 4 of this, and the 1/1 out. The nice thing is like if you have like this in hand, you can just hard play this and then early play this and then put this into stock and then turn into the 1-0 to like if you didn't need the if you didn't like actually need this in the back row. Because like sometimes you have like Brainstorm, Amagi, and back row, and this card's not going to give you any value, so you just change it into the 1-0 and just beat face. And then we have climaxes. We have 1 Kokoro stock soul, 4 stock souls for our level 1, and 3 Yukina pants. I was told to do this as a joke, I think, to play the 1 of Kokoro stock soul because it was super spicy, and because like it, I like Kokoro. The weird thing is, I think it actually works well with the deck. And I might get some hate over that, like that it's not just a meme. But the thing is like in the early game, if you get climax flooded, and I know some people don't like to believe in those games or like too much, but I feel like it's kind of often that I'm just randomly out 4 or 5 by the second turn of the game, and like I need ways to not obliterate my hand or stock in an effort to mill my deck. That's what this is for, right? But it's really nice if my hand is something like this, and then I have like this Amagi, because I will clock draw. I will clock draw with this all day. I do not like playing down pants on first deck, because I like if I use the Amagi, because they don't combo with anything. If I'm not using the Amagi, then like I'm getting like even less value. And if I am using the Amagi, then I'm like losing a stock. So it just feels bad slamming down a pants, right? So I now have access to this. And then this is like, this turns into like gain a stock, your entire board gets a soul, to top check 4, add a yellow character to hand. So it becomes a 4-card mill for free, which is really nice. And this hand happened to me like 3 times. Like a hand like this or a hand like this. And like I'd be like level 0, and I'm just like, oh, thank God, like this is not a pants, because I can slam this, keep these for level like 1 when my combo starts going off, and just like get that top check 4, get that mill that I need right now, because I don't want to be on this deck after next turn. It was just like super nice, like having access to that extra stock soul. And then the pants is like, the pants recur themselves, and then there's like enough of them that you're usually can grab them off of this. A couple times, like some terrible things would happen, and I would randomly draw this at level 3 because like I would have canceled with 2 or 3 of these, and that was like feels bad. But I think like the benefit you gain from the early game far outweighs it. And then also, if you ever need to like stall a turn with like, because your opponent's like super far ahead for some reason, like they're like 2-4, and Yukina's not going to kill him, and you're not like super behind. You're just like 3-0. Hey, you can just like clock yourself to 3-1, slam down like double or triple Musashi, slam the stock soul, rip all the damage out of your deck, and then like wait a turn to kill them with Yukina. That is a line of play that's like super nice to have access to. But yeah, that's the deck. Multi-life came out. I don't know if it really changes it too much. You can like replace the swimsuit Lisas, I think, in the toilets. You can make like a weird hybrid dual level 1 deck or like something more focused. But I think like competitively, this is still just going to outperform. This Kokoro combo is still going to outperform the old one. This package is just super solid. I guess you could put in some Hagami bouncers if you're really afraid of some garbage. But yeah, that's it. Hope you guys like the deck. Hope I inspired some people to go out and play the Kokoro combo. Spread some smiles. But until next time, this is Serio Tenon signing out.
Before you go, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel if you do enjoy our content, as it does help us grow. And check out some of these social media links below.